Welcome Jacquie Jordan, Emmy-nominated television producer, author of Get on TV, and the recent book Heartfelt Marketing, Allowing the Universe to be Your Business Partner, founder of TVGuestpert.com.
Hi, I'm Jacquie Jordan, hosted here by TVGuestpert.com. We're the industry talk show with the experts, and it is Super Bowl weekend. If you're driving home with us tonight, we also repeat here tonight at 10 p.m. and Sunday, which is going to be Super Bowl Sunday, at 5 p.m. on AM 1290, the Santa Barbara News Press Radio. You could also find us on the homepage of TVGuestpert.com. We're also seen on Blip TV. And if you want to friend us, you can join us on Facebook at Jacquie Jordan Inc., TVGuestpert.com. Today's show is sponsored by the non-pharmaceutical hologram chip that helps you sleep at night and gives you energy during the day, which is the wristband. That's cx2wristband.com. That's cx2wristband.com. And if you're tired driving home today, I recommend you check us out at cx2wristband.com. So today is Super Bowl weekend, and the Black Eyed Peas are going to be the halftime show, that's the interest in the draw for me. It's the commercials and the halftime show. It is not the football game at all. And I just have to say that I am one of those chicks, those women, those girls who did not get the sports DNA code at all. But my guest this hour did get that DNA code. And joining us on the phone is Bonnie Jill Laflin. She's the first and only female scout in the NBA. And she is equally tough, smart, brilliant, and gorgeous. Bonnie, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
Good. How are you, Jacquie? Thanks for having me.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. I know these are probably some of these questions are like, you probably get these questions all the time, but are women taken seriously, especially in your position in sports?
See, that's the problem. We have a lot of people, especially from women in our industry, who sometimes cross the line, or they don't always obtain the most professionalism that they can. Sometimes it makes it hard for women like me who are serious and professional in our industry, and so that's why we constantly are jumping over hurdles to, make sure that people respect us and that we gain that credibility.
I'm going to be really honest. This whole show is literally talking out of my own league. But however, sports is a huge part of the media industry. It's and obviously this weekend, being that it's Super Bowl weekend, is a huge media event on top of a sports event. Can you just tell us a little bit about what you do, especially
I'm
for
a sports
folks like me?
broadcaster and also a scout, and I'll be going actually down the Super Bowl, and I'll be actually doing a radio show as well for Radio Row, and then also working for a bunch of other networks in Dallas, the Cowboys Network, and Fox Sports, and a couple other people out there. So it's, like you said, it's not just about the game. It's a full media blitz with just different celebrities and events and parties and charity events and golf tournaments. It's the whole 9 yards.
I could only imagine. Do you face discrimination in your job or in your role?
Yeah, it's like it's anything. It's like a woman, that you got to work, so much harder, to always have people do and understand how hard you have to work to gain, people to understand that it's, we're just like men, we've got the same drive, but yet people still think that, oh, well, it's a woman, she can't do this, she can't do that, and so that's why you're always jumping hurdles to let people know, no, I can do this, and I will do this, and I'll do it even better.
and like I said, because I didn't get the sports DNA code, but you go out and put athletes into the NBA. You pick who the good players are, who for the Lakers. You've done it for the Lakers.
Exactly. So I actually go and scout.
So you have to, know the game. I mean, you know a lot. You know the game. You know skill. You know potential. You know athletic ability. I mean, you know a lot to be able to do that.
And it's like I said, me coming from a different path than other scouts. Is I came from a background. If I was a cheerleader in the NBA, cheerleader in the NFL, sports broadcaster, model, actress, and so I took a different path. And so I'm always getting people saying, oh, well, she doesn't know what she's doing, and she's not knowledgeable, and so forth. And then they realize, they start talking sports, and I'm like, wait a second, oh, a pretty girl can know sports too. And I'm like, yes, it can happen, yes.
It's so funny. Stephanie Cobian is our show producer for the show, and she really wanted us to do the show. She's a big sports, she knows all about sports. And just in our conversation with her, I said to her getting ready, I said, well, do, guys sometimes give you a hard time or a pushback because you're talking sports with them? And it was just an interesting conversation. She said, yeah, sometimes, she gets pushed back just in her knowledge and her interest in her conversation. But there's, I just saw a commercial that they're, launching a clothing line for women. And for the NFL is launching, and you have a sports clothing line.
Yes, it's called Laflin Sportswear, and it's actually for the NBA. And it's basically women want to look cute when they're going to the games, they're watching, basketball or football or so forth. But their boyfriend, they want to look cute, but they don't want to have to wear the big baggy jerseys. So now these are jerseys and different sports T-shirts and everything that's fitted for a woman, and very couture and rhinestones and everything
love
that girls
that.
like. Yes.
Why can't we have our favorite teams, in a little bling?
Exactly. See, so it's perfect for a woman. And our line is very Fred Siegel, very, couture. So it makes the woman feel very sporty, but yet still very feminine.
It's the Super Bowl weekend to me is akin to the Academy Awards weekend. It's got the same, the pre-parties, the build-up, the way they do the packages on the news stories, which I happen to actually like. The one thing I could say about sports television is I love the backstories about the athletes and their, how they milk how they got there. I love that part of it, the actually storytelling part of it. But the weekend to me is like the Academy Awards weekend. It has all that same type of buzz, and I don't know if that's how I can relate to it.
Oh, definitely. Like I said, it's more, just like we were saying at the beginning of your show, it's almost like people have now forgot about the game. There's so much more because it starting Monday, where people are down there in Dallas, and they'll be doing media and press conferences and, like I said, different events throughout the whole week all the way till the game. So people almost forget about the game because there's those 6 days leading up to...
And there's also a lot of you deal with, and you get to witness a lot of scandals going on, especially having been a scout for the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, there's always stuff that's always going on. Like you said, there's always backstories on different players and this and that. And with the Super Bowl, you definitely get to see more profile pieces on these players and get to know them than just what they do on the field.
I know that Inez Sanchez story made headlines recently.
Yes, that was something, and obviously Brett Favre as well. And so that's why it's always women always having to work extra hard, because there's women that go out there and make it harder for us.
It's also it's when I was growing up, I grew up with a father who he was always into sports, and so the fact that I didn't get the gene is kind of bizarre. But there were not sports reporters, like there are female sports reporters like there are now. Especially in the last 10, 15 years.
Definitely.
And this is your heart.
They weren't even allowed in the press room, women.
Exactly. Where do you see yourself going with your career and what your plans are? And I know you're a big activist too.
Yeah, I mean, eventually my long-term goal is to own my own team. So running my own team, owning my own team, and having my own sports show, like a Jim Rome show, a roundtable show, talking sports, getting to know the players, doing profile pieces, all that kind of stuff. But my ultimate goal is to own my own team.
And your passions are the military and animals.
Yes, I'm very big into my charities. I have my own 501c3, Hounds and Heroes. It's actually houndsandheroes.com is my website, and it's basically getting back to something I'm passionate about, which is obviously supporting our military. I've done 17 USO tours, including 7 to Iraq and Afghanistan. So that's a big thing with me, supporting our military. And then obviously animal welfare as well. And that's something I'm passionate about as well. So I combine the both of them and give back as much as I can.
And did you grow up in a sports family?
Yes, I was supposed to be a little boy. And so I was going to every sporting event you could think of since I was 2 years old with my dad. And my dad owned racehorses, so I would go to the track with him. And the first thing I knew how to do was read a racing form. I knew how to handicap races before I could do anything else. And then reading the sporting page. And just I was one of those kids that didn't care about the foam finger and the popcorn and candy. I wanted to know what college you go to, how fast you run the 40, all these different things that little girls don't ask. And so my dad knew at a very young age that sports was going to be a part of my life.
Wow.
And it is, and I love it. And having fun. I enjoy what I do, and I've made it a career.
Well, that's fantastic. Are you going to be rooting for one team or another this weekend?
Yes, I'm actually rooting for Green Bay. I've never been really a Green Bay fan, but I'm a huge Aaron Rodgers fan. He went to Cal, Berkeley, and I've been following his career since then, and I just love him, and I'd love for him to get that Brett Favre monkey off his back. Packers fans weren't so sure about him, and they just were all about Brett Favre, and now they're saying that this is the new guy in town, and really pulling for him. I'm not a Steelers fan at all, so Packers all the way. I'm a cheesehead this weekend.
I'm a Black Eyed Peas fan, so that's going to be my interest. And we can find out, Bonnie, we can check you out at bonnie-jill.com. And if we want to follow you on Twitter, it's bjlaflin.com, right?
Yes,
and
exactly.
The love for the military and animals is houndsandheroes.com.
Yes,
Bonnie Jill,
correct.
thank you so much for joining us this week.
Thank you so much.
And I'm Jacquie Jordan, presented by tvguestspert.com, and we'll be right back.
Doing what I'm doing.
The Jacquie Jordan Show with host Jacquie Jordan.